So I saw on the program police engagement. I'm not sure how that's supposed to flow. So this is what we're going to do. First, I'll introduce myself, give you a little bit of my background. And then I'm just going to open it up to questions that you may have as it relates to police and community relations. How's that sound? So as you know, I'm Officer Lewis Arnold. I've been on the force. It'll be, hey, Pamela J. It'll be 9 years in June. I came on the department very late in life. This is actually my second career. Before this, I was a residential contractor specializing in heating and air conditioning. And 2007 hit, housing crash, phone stopped ringing, I needed to pay bills. My son had already been on the department 10 years and he encouraged me to take the police exam and go through the process, which was 13 months to become a Cincinnati police officer. The interesting story is that my son got on the department long before me. He had been on 10 years when I came on. And as I said, I came on very late. I was 55 years old when I became a Cincinnati police officer. So a little history was made there. I was the oldest recruit to graduate from Cincinnati Police Department in history. So in that, I've always had this strong desire to do two things: work with youth and work with our community, and to see our community improve. And that has been able to happen in this uniform. God has really allowed me to do some amazing things while wearing this blue uniform. And number one, standing for law enforcement, but number two, standing for righteousness. And that's all righteousness. I'm married, I have 2 kids, I have 3 grandchildren. Longtime resident of Woodward, raised in Avondale, graduated from Woodward High School, spent a little time in college at Ohio University, is where I met my wife. Today, I am the faith-based community liaison officer for the Cincinnati Police Department, which is a very unique position in that my basic job is to develop relationships in the faith community, and that's all faith. That's Christian, that's Islamic community, that's the Jewish community, any faith you name. I've been asked to engage those communities, bridge gaps, because as we know, 2001, one of the main communities that drove our unrest in the city was our faith community. Mainly our black preachers in the city, because they were fed up with the things that were going on. So that was a bridge that had to be built, and God has allowed me to build that bridge. And I would say today, Cincinnati Police Department has a great relationship with the clergy in our city, and I just thank God that He gave me the opportunity for that. So I just wanted to lay that out to you. I have thick skin, so any question you want to ask, I will try and answer. I will take on. If you feel like you need to vent a little bit, you can vent. I'm fine with that also. But I want to say this too, and this is what I tell people all the time when they begin to complain. Instead of being a part of the problem, become a part of the solution. How do you become a part of the solution? You become a Cincinnati police officer, and you change the system from the inside out. Standing outside complaining about what's going on inside has no effect. But when you're inside and you can bring about change by being a change agent, then things can happen the way you want them to happen. So, first question.
Well, first I want to say thank you for being a positive part of the police force. That's very, very important that we see positive faces associated with police. But my question is, do you think that 13 months is long enough for training for such an important and intense position? Because it's jobs that you train longer than that for, that you don't have access to any type of weapon.
I'm just going to let you know I got backup back there. Let y'all know I got backup just in case.
I heard about Miss J. I don't know.
Now I'm talking about Officer Green back there. I'm just kidding, guys. I'm just kidding. So 13 months is the interview process. That's not the training. It takes 13 months to get into the academy.
Okay.
So it's a very intense background screening that we go through, a vetting that we go through to even get into the academy.
That's good to know. So once you're in the academy, that's when you actually start training.
That's when our training starts. So let me say this to you, is that Cincinnati, and I say this with truth behind it, that we are probably one of the best trained police departments in the nation. OPADA standards for training is 13 weeks. We double that. We do 26 weeks of training. And we're cutting edge in that community police relations came about because of this collaborative agreement, but we still practice it. De-escalation, which is rarely taught. Diversity, which is rarely taught when it comes to training police officers. So we do things in our academy that a lot of departments do not do. So when you deal with your smaller departments in this area, most of them, they go through Butler Tech, they get certified by the state of Ohio, they do their 13 weeks, they get certified by the state of Ohio to carry a firearm to become a peace officer. Then they go to work for places like Woodlawn, Reading, Deer Park. They go through these smaller departments that do not have their own academy. Yes, sir.
What would be the first advice you would give to a young person in this room if they come in contact with a police officer? How would you suggest them to resolve the situation?
Well, I always tell people whenever I get an opportunity to speak to an audience that's predominantly African American, compliance is the number one rule.
That's right.
Number one rule. If an officer walks up to you, and you don't, oftentimes we won't tell you immediately why we stopped you. And if they ask for your ID, give them your ID. Give them your ID, allow them to do whatever business they need to conduct. And then oftentimes you move on. So that's the best thing, because this is what I tell folks. And this is keeping it 100. You can't win in the street. If you challenge us in the street, you're not going to win. You challenge us in the courtroom, you challenge us through our complaint authority. We have a complaint authority in this city, where even if you feel that an officer spoke to you and he was disrespectful, go to that district where it happened, ask for a complaint form, fill the complaint form out, and by our policies, you have to speak to a supervisor before you leave that district. That complaint is then turned over to our internal investigation unit. Discourtesy is one of the biggest complaints we get, and these things are dealt with, believe it or not. But what happens in our community, we won't follow through. We won't go file the complaint. We won't file the complaint and then speak to the supervisor. Then when the Citizen Complaint Authority call us to interview us, to follow through with the interview, and then with the internal investigation unit call us to interview, to follow through with that interview, so that you can get whatever satisfaction you need to get in reference to your complaint. So I encourage you to follow through. If someone is discourteous to you on the street, don't argue with them. Get their name and badge number and file your complaint. And as a police officer, everyone knows I'm going to speak the truth. So I speak the truth to the community, because the community needs to know. And in the department, they know I speak the truth. So if a question is asked, I'm going to answer it to the best of my ability, and I'm going to give you the truth. I'm not going to water anything down. Yes, sir.
Being a police officer for 9 years.
Yes.
What do you think has changed with the kids of our communities that they challenge you guys? They act like they're like the question he just asked, like, but the kids nowadays, what happened?
Well, Todd's laughing too. It's disrespect. He and I were in the hallway just talking when we were raised up and a police officer told you to do something. You did it. You didn't hesitate. You don't know how many times I've been cursed out by 14 and 15-year-olds. I was called to a group home because a young man was acting out. I get there. It gets to the point where I have to arrest him. I'm trying to put handcuffs on him, and he spits in my face. So that disrespect that our kids have, and so when you look at it, it's not just a disrespect for police officers. It's a disrespect for authority.
Yes.
Because it happens in the schools.
School bus? School bus, yes.
It happens on the job. And it happens out in the community. Our biggest issue in this city, we have Black Family Reunion. Who all goes every year? I go every year. It's the last one in the country. Why is it the last one in the country? Because young people have come to every single one throughout the nation and destroyed it. And I will commend former Chief Craig, former Chief Blackwell, and present Chief Isaac. They say that event will continue in this city. So what do? We flood downtown with police officers. We have to show a show of force to keep the kids from being out of control and destroying an event where we're supposed to be celebrating family. Celebrating family. So this is how I operate. I see young men walking down the street, I say, and I'm not in uniform. Pull your pants up. Oh, I'm sorry, sir. And they pull them up. But we're afraid to confront our kids today. I'm never going to be afraid to confront a child. Never. And Councilperson Simpson said it best. It takes a village to raise a... I grew up in the 60s. I did something out in the street before I got home. My mother knew. Because somebody, Mr. Bill, next door, or Miss Susan at the gas station saw me. She's already at my door to let my mother know. She's going to check me. She's going to check me. And then when I get home, I'm going to get checked. One more question. Yes, sir.
Can you speak about the youth to work program that the police department is partnering with the city with, and how that relationship has helped with any teenagers?
Well, I'm not, to be honest with you, I'm not totally familiar with that program, but I will tell you this, is that the police department has two youth programs that are pretty big. One, the kids actually get paid, and that's our Explorer program. And it's a summer program for young people between the ages of 12 and 17. And then we also have a cadet program, and they're junior police officers. So this is a great opportunity for two things. One, for young people to walk hand in hand with police officers, to see what we do on a daily basis, and to get summer employment and get summer income. So it's a great program. If you want to check the program out, you got some young people that are interested in it, just go to the City of Cincinnati's website and then find the prompts and follow the prompts.
It's vice versa. The explorers don't get paid, the cadets get paid.
Thank you.
Explorer
I appreciate it.
myself.
You're an explorer?
Yeah.
That's where I know you.
Officer, can I co-sign something you said?
I don't know. I've been given the wrap up side,
Okay, I'm
so.
gonna make it quick. I have a favor to ask parents. I was born in 1957 down in the West End, 1070 West Liberty Street. You right, mess up, your parents, we didn't have no telephone, so they was there, they could reprimand you. I just need parents. I've been working on school buses for 17 years. When a preschooler tell you, you not my mama, I ain't gotta listen to you. That stays there. And as they become older, and someone in authority asks them to do something for their own good, they hear their mama. You ain't gotta listen to them, they ain't your mama. I'm not lying to you, I work for First Student.
We understand.
So if you all would teach your children to respect authority, it starts at home. It might save their life. Scripture.
I'm like, nah.
Respect your parents. Honor your parents so your days will be long upon the
We're going to take one more question right here.
I'm
Go ahead.
sorry.
Yes, what type of social engagement initiatives do you think the police department should come up with our young people? What types of programs, whether it's like the social programs?
Well, this is what I would recommend to each of you. We do have an entire section of our police department that deals strictly with youth. It's our youth services department. And you can also, you still go on the City of Cincinnati, click on Cincinnati Police, and then go to the youth services section. And we have a summer camp for youth. That's a full week where the kids are living with police officers for a full week at Camp Joy. And everything is provided. And it's $25, but they offer $25 scholarship. So there's we do a lot of things, but I have to get down, but I would just suggest that you go to the City of Cincinnati website and click on Cincinnati Police website. Thank you.
Thank you, officer. Really, knowledge is key, and there is resources out here, as we can see. Up next is Miss Victoria Morgan, and she is gonna speak to us from the She